Hi there, Reason13 users. This video is long due on how do you do channel, and in this video I will go through that how to utilize MetaGrid Pro with Reason13. It should work with other Reasons as well, but I'm currently running Reason13. So we'll dive into how to use that device to make your workflow faster, create different type of macros, and see how do you benefit from those when creating music. Additionally, I will do a small section regarding on the latest device that I got, which is MP MIDI, and how to utilize that with your plugin control and also in mixing. So let's get going. Okay, so here I'm using just the sample project from Reason in order to kind of focus on the most important thing, which is the how to utilize this MetaGrid Pro with your Reason project and when creating music. So on the upper right corner you see the iPad display. So basically this is an iPad application that you need to download. There is a small cost in it as well. And then you also need to install the server into your Mac. In this case, it will actually support Windows as well, so it works in a Mac and Windows. It has native integration with Cubase Studio One and few other digital audio workstations. However, you are able to use it with Reason extremely sufficiently. Like for example, let's just take a look what I have here and what I have now created, and then we will actually do some examples how to actually really benefit from it. But here now if I press view, I can basically then go into the mixer view, I can go into the rack, I can go into the sequencer, I can open and close the browser to get more landscape when I'm touching on those. So you don't see of course me using the iPad, but you see when I press the button and the action that it does and make. And then if I press twice sequencer, it will of course split it with the previously known window. But then if I don't, I can just switch between the rack, the sequence and the mixer. But let's go into the sequence. Then what I have done here is, for example, actually let's go into the mixer first, and I'll just bring the the volume down so that it doesn't disturb us. So let's go to the sequencer. So for example, if I go and click here, and now I set a loop set, it will set a loop in there. If I go and say play loop, then it starts to play on it. But let's look into the edit mode. So in the iPad you see the edit icon over there in the right top corner. If I press that one, you have two ways to edit it. So you can actually edit the layout, where you can bring in new controls, or then you can edit an object. And let's firstly look on the object, like for example set and play. So that is a simple mapping into the keyboard command P. So that's basically the the shortcut that is in Reason. And if I basically want to add something, I can go and press add, and then I have other options. So I can have mouse action, I can do text, I can do pause. I could actually also integrate with keyboard Maestro or Apple shortcuts or whatnots. So those are the kind of the options that I can do with Reason. And then let's actually create something that is kind of meaningful in one way. So I'll actually go and open up a mixer, and then I would actually like to have in my main panel here, what I have here is that I would like to have a controller that or slider that actually controls my master level. So how to do that is that you go into the edit mode, you can basically then go into the layout, and then you can draw an area and you say merge. Then you click on that area and you say add, and then you say add a fader. By default the fader is kind of horizontal, but vertical. I want to make it horizontal, so I go into that and I select it, and then I go down, 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 and then let's see, options here, enable horizontal orientation. I don't want to have the title on it, and so I want to reduce it. I can have the value in it. Of course, it does not reflect the value in basically in Reason, because it's not bidirectional. But then I can also hide it, so I just see the button, and then I could also see that, you know, what type of a controller that is. Is it an arrow? Is it a diamond or whatnot? I can also deal with the color. For this one I could use red. And then already the macro is in place. So for the slider it sends CC0 for channel 1. So that's something that is there. But of course you could go and change these. So you could say basically CC40 and channel 1. So that can be adjusted. And as you can see from here, it can be, you know, for Mac and Windows to send those commands. But once I'm happy with this one, I could actually go and say that I'm done with this. I go back to edit the layout. I'll do just a kind of a small and merge over there. What I can also do is that I can say that add a text. So now it's a text, but what I do next is I go into object, and I could actually then basically say that copy this and I could also and paste here. So now when I go and edit the text, then I can go and you know, and say that, you know, this is master. Sorry, this is let's put it like this. Master. And now I have it there. But then, yeah, that's one part. So you have now a control here in Reason for the MetaGrid Pro. But now if I would like to, you know, control the master in Reason with that, I could basically then go here and say that, you know, right click, edit remote override mapping. Then I say that, you know, this override mapping is coming from Metasystem MIDI in. That's actually something that you need to also see that, you know, in your Reason settings. So okay, I can't open it because I have the dialog open. Let's just double check it. But, you know, in your Reason preferences, you go into the MIDI, and then you need to see that in MIDI you have basically that that enabled, so that, you know, you are receiving the MIDI from it. So that's pretty much the thing that you need to check out, that you have that MIDI port enabled for your Metasystem. There is no way to filter them, but I know that mine is, so but you should check that yours is also enabled like this, so you are able to get MIDI commands. Anyway, let's go back to the master fader. Right click it and then edit remote override mapping. Then I say, you know, where, so like from the MIDI. I don't want to have a keyboard, but I do a CH1 CC0, so channel 1 CC0, and that was something that we program into. And now when I'm actually moving the fader, I can see that, you know, it has done the learning. Now if I say OK and I move here, I can actually now move the master. So if I press play, so that's it. You could also do basically you could do a for example a button that sets it to kind of unity, so to 0, and things like that. Another thing is that, you know, buttons like, you know, I have here the play and pause, but then I have only the play. But if you would like to have this a dual mode button, you can do that as well. If I go over here and I say that okay, this is instead of this is a latch. So now I would like to change this also, you know, that this is actually not enter, but it's actually a where is the space there? It's space, and then for this, when it's latch off, it's basically showing that you are ready to play, and then basically I think that's okay. Then we go into the latch on, and there I want to do and add a keyboard shortcut, and I'll do the same thing. I'll do the space. So I just kind of, this is a simple demo of showing that, you know, what kind of a latch type of a and then let's go an icon, and we go and find maybe a stop icon. Stop icon. Let's see, there is one. Let's use that, and let's then, yeah, now it's highlighted like this. So now it is toggling between, you know, stop and play with latch on and latch off. So then let's do that. So now basically now it is playing. Now it is, so just a simple idea of showing, you know, how it works. So now it basically, let's go to a sequencer, so you see that, you know, now it's stop, and now it is playing, and again now it's stop, now it's playing. Anyway, that's one option, you know, to do things. Then what else I have programmed here is that, you know, let's just delete this audio track from here. Yes, please. Then of course, when you are here, if you would like to, you know, add a track, an audio track, then you could basically then just tap here, and it will do a Command D, so it will add a audio track. Then if we go into a mixer view, and I have that audio track selected, I can press the FX, and it will bring me now basically an area where I can then select a plugin. But hey, I'll do an example, because you could do also like more advanced things like this. But I'll just do an example on one thing. So I'll add a page. So what you can do here is that you go actually into your content manager. So I have basically Reason main and Reason edit. Then I go into the content manager, and I can create a grid that is a new grid, and I just say that it's a kind of empty. And then I can of course select, you know, the style, you know, how it looks like, and then I can give a name. I can give a name for it. Let's say that, and then this is this is basically, let's do that. This name is FX, Reason FX, and then we create. I just want to add a grid. So now I have a grid that is Reason FX, and then if I go into the scenes, I can basically then go. I have my Reason main and Reason edit there. But for the Reason main, I can actually add a second page, or then I can actually create a new scene, which I can then say that this is basically, you know, this is basically FX, and the primary for this one is Reason FX. So now it changed because it has nothing, and now I'm done. So now this one is the FX, this one is the edit, and then this one is basically the, you know, the main. So now here, when we are in the FX, we can, I'll do it a bit more kind of like more complex macro as an example. So now I have basically the FX here, but what I would like to do is that on top of that, when I now do Shift Command F, now when I go into the edit mode and I go into there and I say that, you know, this one is actually doing a keyboard shortcut of I think it was no, come on, it was edit, no, create, find device, shift command and then F here. So that's basically where you can see that, you know, you can look into your screen and see what is the shortcut. Then you can program that into here. Then you can basically then add, you can add a time. Maybe like it weighs basically a kind of the last, the smallest is 10 seconds. So then it will wait 10 seconds. Then you want to add another one where you want to type a text, and there you actually want to look for Pro Q and 3. So now it's typing a text, sorry, but I need to see it, sorry. Pro Q and then 3. So now it is typing that text in. And then you want to add basically another keyboard shortcut where this one basically has a down arrow, so it will go down, and then maybe you want to also add a small pause here so that it has time to search the plugin in it. It will go down, so it will go from the entry field into the section where it is listed. Then you will add one more thing that is basically then an enter. So so now it should basically go and find that plugin and enter it into the selected track. So let's try it out. Okay, let's save this. Yeah. So now we have the macro there, and then we go and we could have an icon. Actually, you could actually have an external icon, but I just write here for the so Pro Q3 like this. So now I'm here, and let's now test this. We could also basically go and close the device, so it should open it up, search for Pro Q, and then add it into the selected channel. Oh yeah, actually, let's see. Oh, it should be returned, so we need to debug a bit. Let's go here, let's go there, let's go there. And not enter, but actually a return. So then that should be now working correctly. Let's test it again, because it started to play, and that was not our intention. Let's delete this from delete this from the track, and let's go back to the full mixer view. Yeah, we have the track selected here. Then let's clean up the mess, and then basically go close that one. Now let's go back to the here and then press that one, and yeah. So now it works. So that's basically a one way of running a multiple commands, and then, you know, for example, picking up a plugin quickly from your list of plugins. So you can of course then modify all of these and make them as convenient as it is for you. So you can also of course edit all these. You can easily, you know, resize the buttons if you are in a layout. If this mute button you want to make it bigger, you can do that. So you are fully capable of customizing all these views. Then of course you are able to do different type of macros. There is actually even more, but then it is actually a bit more expensive version. So I have this basic that I've been using, but it's sufficient for me. But anyway, these were the ideas regarding on how to utilize the MetaGrid Pro with your Reason, and how you can actually make your workflow faster in that respect. So avoiding keyboard commands, of course, if you are native to those, that is fast as well. But if you aren't and you are jumping from a digital audio workstation to another, then it's handy to have these. And then yeah, so that's pretty much what we have here now on the topic. I hope you can now see my desk where I have the MP MIDI controller. It's a second screen for me as well. So I could pretty much, like, if I go and let's do a let's open up a plugin, a rack, so that I can also bring a plugin into this screen. However, that's not something that I'm doing, because what I can do is that now I'm here and I would like to basically then go and add an MP MIDI host, and that's the one I want to add. Once I open it up, it will actually now bring the screen here, and from here I have actually created my favorite plugins. So this is actually pretty handy, because now I can bring in a Pro Q or whatever I need. So if I want to bring a compressor after that, I can basically then take a compressor. And now if I look, I have basically I can bring a compressor first, but then if I want to add a plugin, then I can go and select another plugin. So now I can jump between the compressor and the fab filter. Then if I'm renaming these tracks, and I'll go to, like, also into the vocal track, and I'll basically bring another instance of MP MIDI there. So now if I say that this is a vocal and Vox track, now I have two instances of MP MIDI host loaded. And now if I'm actually bringing a plugin here, let's bring something else, like let's just bring a simple EQ. And then of course you can now do these rotary encoders are mapped automatically, as you can see, into the plugin. So I can actually use these rotary knobs to control the plugin. But on top of that, I can now jump from my Vox track to my audio track, and I go into the fab filter, and I can basically do a low cut or whatever I want to do, like bring output level or band and things like that. And all that I can do from rotary. Of course, it's a touch screen, so I can also do this if I want. And it makes actually life quite easy in that sense, that I can easily jump from a different channel to a different plugin in that channel, and then make tweakings regarding on what I hear. So that's pretty neat. It works great with Reason, and then one way to make your mixing and why not mastering also faster, but specifically mixing, because you can go from a plugin to another easily and control them with the rotary knobs. Okay, so that concludes our video with Reason13 and MetaGrid Pro, how to utilize MetaGrid with Reason13 to make your workflow faster. And additionally, I had a small demo an MP MIDI controller, and how can you utilize that with your Reason13. So hopefully you like my videos. Please do like them if you like them, and remember to subscribe for my channel. Thanks for watching. Bye now. Hey, and by the way, one more thing. I noticed that there is one guy has made a integration with a native control into Reason with the keyboard. So let's see if that works. I will do a video on that. Ciao.